Today we'll see organization structure. So organization structure, a design of organization, a movement or blueprint. It is called organization structure. So organization structure consists of those aspects of pattern of behavior in the organization that are relatively stable and change only slowly. The structure of an organization generally shown on the organization's chart. It shows the authority and responsibility relationship between various positions in the organization while designing the organization structure. Due attention should be given to the principles of sound organization. So, organization is not an end itself, but a means to end of business performance and business results. So, organization structure is an indispensable, and the wrong structure will seriously impair the business performance. So there will be a sound organization structure. It facilitates growth of enterprise by increasing its capacity to handle increased level of authority. It provides the pattern of communication and coordination. So how they have to communicate with each other and how they have to coordinate with each other. It determines the location of decision making in the organization. So, properly designed organization can improve teamwork and productivity by providing framework within which the people can work together most effectively. This is what organization structure. So, organization structure, the definition. Organization structure explains the position and official relationship between various individuals in the organization. It involves establishing an appropriate structure for the goal seeking activities. It is an established pattern of relationship among the components of the organization. So, what are the types of organization structure? We'll see one by one. Here you have line structure, line and staff structure, functional structure, committee structure, project structure, matrix structure. So, here you have the types of organizational structure. Internally, every organization has to be divided into smaller groups called department or section. Proper coordination has to be maintained between all of them. This makes possible to attain organizational objectives by dividing the work among the several individuals. So, what is this? From the types of organization structure, we will see one by one. What is this line structure? It flows from top to lower level. Like it is the simplest and oldest method followed in many organization. Normally, all the organization they will follow this kind of structure, line structure. It is also called as military organization. Like here, from top to the lower level, from board of directors, general managers will be there. Under them, some heads will be there. Then under heads there will be supervisor. Then there will be employees who workers who works on the floor. So like this, the structure will be the line structure will be. That is what line organization or a line structure. So they pass these instructions from see like all the instructions will be passed through the different what do you call the hierarchical level. That is what line structure. So that's what I told you know. Here, general manager, production manager, assistant manager, supervisor, workers. Like that, the structure will go on in case of line structure or line organization. It is the oldest and simplest type of formal organization in which authority flows downwards from the highest level to the lowest levels of the management. That is what line structure. Then we have line and staff organization. So, what is this line and staff organization? Here, the staff is attached to the line. The staff are experts specialized in specific areas. Okay, so they give ideas to Personal here means the people who works in the organization are called personal. Human resources are called personal. So here they give ideas to personnel. The staff supports the line personnel. So here in line authority you have from top to bottom authority. I mean, I told from highest level to the lowest level of authority. So the flow of authority is always in the downward direction from the superior to the subordinate. Such relationship is called the line authority. Okay, but when you take the staff authority, here the literally staff implies a stick carried in the hand for support. See here it implies to those elements that helps the line authorities, like advising the line people, assisting the line people, informing the line manager. So those are all staff, the staff who provides some expertise to the line people. That is what staff authority. Okay, so here the line authorities to function effectively to the line authority, this staff people will give them some kind of experience or expertise to run the organization. So they reduce the burden and conflict anything is there, they will just reduce to the line authorities, and they too have the right to command and extract work from their subordinates. Okay, so this is what line and staff authority or line and staff organization. Then functional organization. What is this functional organization? So there will be a separate department for different actions and activities. For every function, there will be some different what do you call actions, and different departments will be there. So in the functional organization, work is divided according to specific function. I told according to specific function, the work will be divided. So every specialist has authority to issue orders to the related to specific function of his department. So identical function of various departments are grouped together and headed by specialist. Here what they will do, like general manager, works manager. So works manager will take care of the time and cost, clerk and instruction clerk, routine clerk, disciplinarian. So all these works manager comes, all these people comes under works manager. So these people have the authority towards the workers who works in the organization. So this is all about functional organization. So here you may have the people who works under works manager, like routine clerk, instruction clerk, time and cost clerk, disciplinarian, like that you may have. So that is called functional organization. Then committee organization. What is this committee organization? So committee organization here, a group of people entrusted in a task. Okay, the standard or permanent committee for all everything you may have some committee. Okay, so like that they'll form some committee to take up some kind of work where the immediate work to be undertaken. Okay, so it's a group of people who works collectively, discuss, decide, and recommend some solution to the problem. Any problem arises or any kind of new situation arises, how to solve that, for which a committee will be organized. A group of people will be there who works collectively. Okay, that is what committee organization. Okay, a committee consists of group of men conversant with the subject. Naturally, their advice will be much superior to that of one man. So this is what committee organization. You may have standing committee, temporary committee, committee in control, coordination and discussion committee, advisory committee, educational committee. So here also for in education institutions, they may have NAT committee, IQAC committee, and you may have anti-ragging committee, research committee, like that. They form some kind of committee to resolve some kind of problem or some kind of situation, or they may require some kind of special advice or expertise to discuss, for which they will have some kind of committee in the organization. So they may, in case of companies, they may have standard or permanent committee, temporary committee, and executive committee, advisory committee, formal committee. So committee will be formed. That kind of organization are called committee organization. Then talking about project organization. It varies from one organization to another organization. Any organization execute a large project for long period of time, in which this kind of project organization they will adopt. Okay, so usually some company have large number of small projects. So that's what you would have heard when the this kind of uh, uh, nowadays in companies and all, you would have heard from your seniors, or in some cases you would have heard project manager, project leader, team leader, like that words oftenly nowadays we are hearing. So that kind of project organization. Okay, so small projects will be there for the company. They may have large number of small projects for which some team leader or a project head will be there. So the team leader, that is team leader, organize the expert or specialist. So this is what project organization. And talking about matrix organization. What is this matrix organization? Matrix organization, it's like a hybrid structure. It is a combination of two structure: functional department and project structure. So project team is created for specific project with a high degree of technical skill and functional structure as permanent characters of matrix organization. So matrix are two-dimensional structure. It is a combination of project structure as well as functional structure. It is suitable where there is a large number of small projects. We have seen in project. So for them, they will give some functional structure. They will apply some functional structure over there to take care of that particular project. So that is what it is called matrix. So it is also called multiple command system. It is also called linking pins. Okay, they will link one project to the one functional department. Okay, that is what matrix organization. So here any organization that employ a multiple command system that include not only the multiple command structure, behavior pattern. Sometimes matrix and project structure are considered to be the same. Okay, however, in the matrix organization, the project manager is appointed to coordinate the activities of project personnel. So each functional staff has two bosses. One is administrative head as well as project manager. So combined together, they will have. That is what matrix organization. Okay, so these are the types of organizational structure. Then the next topic we'll see span of management. So what is the span of management? It is also called span of control or span of supervision. It refers to the number of subordinates that report directly to the single manager or supervisor. So it is called span of management. Okay. So span of management, normally you have two types of span of management. One is narrow span of management, another one is wide span of management. So here, span of management indicates the number of people who can be effectively managed by one executive. Only one executive will be there where he will just manage number of people under him, number of subordinates under him. That is what span of management, or it is called span of control. So span of control, it's an expression or limitation of number of employees activities that he can manage properly. See, if particular classes there, okay, I can manage, some group will be divided in a group. Okay, I can manage some 10 people, I can manage 20 people. So it is the efficiency of the manager who can successfully direct or manage or subordinates or the employees of the organization. So this is called narrow span of management. So it is also called tall organization. Manager oversees few subordinates, better communication. So this is example of narrow span of control. So manager will be there, three employees will be there. Under another employee, again two employees will be working. So like that. And a wide span of management, flat organization, number of employees, many people will be under one manager. That is what wide span of management. Manager oversees large number of subordinates. See here, less overhead cost because a manager only takes care of everyone. Okay, that is what you call wide span of management. This is the example of narrow span control and wide span control. So narrow span, it will be a tall organization, okay, where under him two people he can manage. These two people can manage three people. These three people can manage these four people. Like that, it goes on narrow. Wide span, he is the only person who can control all these people. That is what wide span of control. So three types of relationship in case of span of management. You have direct relationship. Like superiors has direct link with the subordinates. Directly they'll speak to the people. When the direct group relationship. Another type is direct group of relationship. Here are the manager and the group of subordinates. They'll together they'll have some kind of relationship. Okay, then gross relationship, here relationship among subordinates. The subordinates will have their own groups. That is what gross relationship. Okay, so here direct single relationship. Superior will have relationship between the subordinate. Then superior will have, if the group is there also, you'll have the direct group relationship. You'll have the relationship with the group also. Okay, then a cross relationship, like a superior will have relationship with the A subordinate and B subordinate, and the subordinate also will have relationship between them. That is cross relationship. Okay, these are the three types of relationship. Then factors determining span of management. So here, nature of work, according to the nature of work, see if many number of people are available in the organization. So accordingly, what they have to do, they have to divide, or they have to follow the span of management, either wide span or narrow span. Then type of technology. So how they are using the technology, accordingly, the span of management to be used, and the ability of the manager. See, I told if a manager can manage a number of people, then he can just go for taking up more number of employees. And capacity of subordinates. If the subordinates is trained and efficient in discharging his function without much help of the superior, then the organization can have wide span, because the subordinate can manage himself, so no need of more work from the manager end. Okay, then the degree of decentralization. If a manager delegates authority to subordinates, then he is required to give less attention to them. As the authority is given, so they will take care, the subordinates will take care of the work. Okay, so the manager can pay less attention. Here, this case also, they can have some wide span of management where number of employees he can manage. Then quality of planning. If the subordinates are well informed about their jobs, then they will do their work without consulting the manager again and again, because they are efficient enough. So then what will happen? There exists some quality also. Okay, so in such case, they can follow some wide span. Then staff assistance. So the use of staff assistance can help the manager in reducing his workload by performing certain managerial task. So that the staff also will assist them to the manager. So in such case, the manager, the people can go for some wide span of management. Then time available for supervision. If the time is very less, they can go for narrow span. If the time is they have good number of time, good time. I mean, they have more time, then they can just go for wide span. Geographical dispersion of subordinates. So in a particular area, more people are there, where few people are there to take care of them, then they can go for wide span. If more number of managers are available and less number of subordinates, then they can go for narrow span. So like that, according to the factors, they can just determine what span of management they can follow in the organization. This is all about span of management. Okay, so